Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening from wherever you are. Back again with me, Lydia Ray, my day job, Senior Analytics Solution Architect at AWS, but also I'm one of the hosts of this Let's Talk About Data show. For those of you who are new to this show, essentially the show is to talk about anything data and AI from builder's perspective, how you build things in building data pipeline, and so on, and many other things related to data and AI. So today is slightly interesting. Oh, by the way, I'm based in the UK. If you haven't been in the show, and at the moment it's winter in the UK, and of course it's kind of already dark already, cold, windy, and rainy. So if you just join, please remember like tell where you are, where you base, where you join from, and then what is the weather like where you are. And today is quite interesting for me, and I really excited personally about the shows because I have Sinead here, and I will let Sinead introduce herself first.
Hi, folks. I'm Sinead. I lead up marketing for Ireland, Northern Ireland for AWS, and I'm based in Ireland. Probably my name gave it away. And as you can tell by the window, it is already getting dark. So by the end of the show, it will be completely black there.
We are in the same side of the globe, so probably in the same situation. But please, usually some folks here is from California and other things that share like sunny weather where they are. That would be great. At least we can imagine it like how sun looks like. Okay. I also want to say, like Tony, one of the hosts, is currently chat moderator. So any questions or any links, he will share it on the chat. And any extra questions that might not related to this topic, he will also be able to handle it. Okay. And Tony also based in the UK, basically the same with us. The weather is a bit cold and a bit windy and dark already now. Okay. I just apologize for my blurb. Like I just back from reInvent literally yesterday evening. So trying to adjust with the jet lag. If anyone at reInvent last week, tell us like how is it you enjoyed it. And at reInvent, we heard a lot of about agentic AI, also about like Hero, about Quick Suite, and a lot of new innovation within AI. But today I have Sinead here as I don't want to say like a like developer. Sinead is I have a lot of conversation basically with a lot of people say like AI is just for the tech people, and then those who doesn't understand tech will be left behind and so on. But I always have different belief or perspective that if you expert in your domain, AI will be the tools for you or the lever for you to excel above everyone else. And we all heard about this that AI is not going to replace you. AI will replace those who not using AI, basically. And I have a living proof here with me, Sinead, that will share her experience with using a lot of AI tools that provided by AWS. But before we get into that, Sinead, tell us you are a lead marketing in Ireland and Northern Ireland. I guess it's busy. I know you're busy, but what is the day to day like as a lead marketing in Northern Ireland? What do you do?
Yeah, perfect. So the goal of marketing is to be sales aligned to help drive AWS adoption across Ireland, Northern Ireland. And that runs across many different, as we call, channels. So you have events. So we run around events, we partake in events. So what we call is our big events. So we have the AWS Cloud Day, the AWS AI and Data Conference in Kilkenny. We do 3P events like Analytics Summit. And we also do like exec events, roundtables, and partner events. So that's the events domain. We work on thought leadership, white papers, how do we highlight what some of our customers are doing so
Yeah.
to inspire other customers. So we do the video case studies. How do we put that into a white paper? Because a lot of time when we go into our customers, they go, oh, what can Gen AI do for me? Well, it's the marketer's job to go, okay, for this industry, what examples do we have? Let's talk to the experts and break it down for them so
Yeah.
they understand and go, oh, aha, I get it now. I can do this. So some of that sort of stuff. What else we do? It's was it go to market strategy. So basically
Okay.
based on what sales are achieving, how can we map our plan so that we can look 6, 12, 18, 24 months out?
Yep.
Working with partners, a big thing. So, You want AWS? Well, you need someone to implement it or train up your team. So work with our internal partners and by other teams, but also our external partners, such as your system integrators, your consultancy partners, um, and then what else? Oh yeah, always asked how effective is marketing. So I have to be able to track
Okay.
all our actions into results, and make sure that I'm doing the job right.
Ah, okay, that sounds a lot of things like from events and then white paper, and then also you have to track whatever you activation you do. It's like it reflects back in the positive metrics or not, right? And I just want to double check, like, have you ever write any single code before, or
Um, I did years ago. So I did my master's in e-commerce back in 2010. So I used to just do basic HTML websites and CSS, and I know a bit of Java. But actually I don't do it too much. So I can edit HTML if I feel like that, but
yeah?
that is as good as I am. But I kind of my son is 4. What a cutie! But he says that I'm a fix it man. So what I do is if I need to do something, I try and figure it out myself. So
Okay.
with the Gen AI tools, I'm so excited by them. I test them all out on a day-to-day basis, and I talk to a lot of people going, "What are you using?" So I figure out what to use. So no, I'm not a great coder, but I know what I want when I'm trying to use a tool.
Okay. Do you? I mean, when the Gen AI arrive, and people are afraid of like, oh, we're gonna be replaced. Is it everything will be computer? How? I mean, you find a way. I mean, to like, okay, I want to learn the Gen AI tool, or I want to learn this tool. I want to learn this particular AWS services. And where do you start? I mean, where did you start
Yeah, that
typically?
was it. I love Gen AI for one core reason. It's like having a few of me in a room that I can banter back and forth with and create great ideas and move faster. And someone told me ages ago, like, because they're like, "Oh, what about your job? Or will you have a job in the
Yeah.
future?" And they said, when Microsoft Excel came out, people were like, "Oh, accountants, so there's going to be no accountants because Excel does everything they can do." Well, that's not true. There's more accountants now than ever. And I think some like, oh, there's a high percentage of CEOs tend to be accountants. So we haven't lost accountants. We're not going to lose that. What did I do initially? So initially it was more like content. I used some third party tools and some of our
Okay.
internal tools. So we had like Cedric internally. And Cedric is just our internal Gen AI tool that you can, help refine a message or to give me a summary of this doc I just got. Sometimes I like like as everyone else in AWS, everyone's so busy all the time. You're
Yeah.
keeping up at a pace. Using the Gen AI tools allowed me to achieve the more mundane tasks faster so I can concentrate on the more strategic thinking. Um, so like I can bring you to a few examples if you want on where I
That would
started
be
and how
great.
it
Yeah.
evolved. Sweet. Okay, so if we go into my other screen, share my other screen,
Okay.
and is it sharing? It is sharing. Beautiful. So so the great thing about with it being within AWS, you get your own Isengard account. What's so great about that? We get to play and test with anything, and I don't get a big bill at the end. Well, my manager might give out to me. So one thing I'm really lazy about is typing. So
Okay.
sometimes my typing, and I'm pretty fast typing, but it doesn't keep up on my train of thought. So if I have an idea that I want to put down, I'll use Amazon Transcribe to copy it and paste it in. So an example is like start a stream. Oh, hold on, I have to refresh. That's a bad one, isn't it? When that happens,
It's
uh,
happened in the live demo.
always happens. Okay, so I want to come up with a new event. The event I'm targeting is execs. It is C-level in the financial services area. It needs to be a round table, maybe 30 people, eight to a round table. I want to have three speakers talking 15 minutes each. I need to create content that they find enjoyable and take away and inspire them to achieve going forward. Come up with an example of how I should create this event. Give me examples that has been done in the past. And I am within AWS, the UKI Financial Services. Say, um, so this is how I would spitball ideas to use into the Gen AI function, say. And I know this is a
Oh,
really poor example, but this is just how I work. And then we have an internal tool called like Mentor. So Mentor is built by our internal team. It uses Claude 4. You can choose the model you want. I'll just choose this one because it's the latest. And I'll just add this in. Now it's not great. I'll edit it as needs be, but I'll just hit it enter
okay.
and see what comes up. So it helps me create something. And then it allows me the tool to edit it. So I've come up with an idea. It's easier to take a red pen to something than to actually create something from a blank page. Um, so
Ah, okay.
so it's not terrible, but
Yeah.
what I would say is no one in FSI in the UK is going to come to a 9 o'clock event. Maybe it should be a breakfast briefing or it should be a lunchtime. Okay, based on this information, should I change it? So this is where I would adjust it. I would say it needs to be only a 90-minute event. They're not going to give that much time. It needs to be a breakfast briefing. And I would take this summary and then go to, say, my FSI lead and be like, I'm thinking of this. This is like really rough. What do you think? Allow them to take the red pen, like, Sinead, like this, should add this, should change this. Great. So what took me probably like 5 minutes to create,
Yeah.
5 minutes to edit, have a conversation for 10 minutes, go away, edit it for 10. I could come up with a whole new event in 30 minutes where I could be sitting at a wall trying to get inspired and I'd only know what I know as opposed to using a tool to help me
Yeah.
figure out beyond that.
Is this still, just double check, this still like specific for built specific for the marketing teams, or you actually put specific prompts behind the scenes?
No, didn't put it in the behind the scenes. This is used by everyone in AWS can use it. So
Okay.
it's not marketing, it's nothing. That's how great this tool is. And it's using Claude and Bedrock and all that jazz, but it comes up with pretty good, but it can be
Yeah.
better. And the reason how it can be better is you can upload a doc of a previous event or a few other previous events. Be like, here's a flavor of the Amazon style of events. Here's the output we want. Here's the metric. You can make it better, but from the initial go, it's pretty
Yeah.
good. Um, so like that's an example of what I use. Another example is Amazon Translate. Um,
Okay.
so sometimes, say, my Italian counterparts have created a doc I really like the look of, but I'm sure I can't understand a word it says. Um, so I go in and I can just upload the doc, say the source, and it would export it for me. And I'd be like, oh, I like this. I'll take this. I'll take this and this. So this tool I would use I would use it probably like every few weeks because I like to stay on top of what other people are doing. Um, Another tool, and you mentioned it earlier, was Kiro. I was so excited when Kiro got announced. Now, some of you are going to say, Sinead, it's Cairo, it's Kiro, it's. We have a lot of these arguments. I hear it's Kiro, but anyway. Um, so for me, again, it's an idea creator. So this is like all my ideas come up. But one thing we did at an event was I run this event in Kilkenny. It's called the AWS AI and Data Conference. There's 1,000 people there that really just want to know how to like level 300 content on data analytics and Gen AI. We
Yeah.
have a C-level event the night before, and I group people into teams. And in each pub, they have another task. And one of the tasks was a real simple one. It's higher or lower game with cards. And I
Okay.
have a host that goes, guys, guess what the card is? Is it a higher or lower? That is the most competitive game ever because they're getting really statistical going, hey, it's going to be this because statistically it was that. Da, da. It's all a team building. The whole point is everyone gets to know each other by the end. So I held another event up in Belfast there recently. And I was like, I want to digitize this. So I explained within Kiro, where is it there now? A higher lower game. I explained within Kiro what I wanted to achieve. And
Okay.
then Kiro created the HTML. So I didn't want to actually use any of the AWS services. I wanted to be hosted on a laptop. I didn't want it to be connected to the internet because I was fear of internet
There's no internet.
connectivity.
Yeah.
Put all that into the prompt and then send build and test it. And then here we go. We start off with a 5. We had different teams. We say,
Oh,
what are you going
okay.
to choose? Higher, lower, higher, lower. And the whole point is you beat the machine. So they've all placed their bets. We select next card. It's going to be, say, 7 of hearts, reveal and calculate the odds. We know who's right. We know who's wrong. We go to next round and it continues on. Really
Oh,
simple. But and it took me all of it probably took me about 40 minutes to build this. And the 40 minutes I was because I didn't like the UX. I wanted to be more modern, or I wanted to move something, or I
okay.
wanted the teams to see each other's straight on. I wanted the odds to be shown. So it was me more changing the UX as opposed to the functionality.
Okay. Before we continue around Kiro, I just gonna like let's see it in the chat and see how the audience doing. We have, of course, we have Sony, which is our moderator. For me, it's very cold and wet. We talked about it in the beginning already. Eerie underscore edits is our regular audience. Hi, everyone watching from LA. Yeah, it is sunny here. Thank you very much. So we can all imagine how is the sun shining there and then warm. Hopefully, it warm our house as well. And we have data guy underscore 123. Hello, hello back. And data guy underscore 123 have a comment. Yep, AI is like having an awesome assistant that can make your life so much easier. I think Jeanette just proved like how she managed all the event, or learning from other folks in a different language is a lot easier to adopt. Like maybe there's like a good event happening or good documents from the folks in a different team in a different language. You can do it quickly, or you can brainstorm yourself rather than typing a document. You can brainstorms and have an idea really quickly. Let's see who else in here. I am Shfan. I hope I pronounced correctly. Australia, 3 a.m. Oh, it's a very, very early start for you. Thank you for attending. Let's see. There's a lot of comments. It's nice to see AI being used for non-developers. I'm no developers, so it is cool to see how others use the tools. Yes, thank you very much. And I think Eerie edits have a comments about demo gods being probably the error before. That's uh, the the joy of having a live demo. And we have a question here. Actually, do you guys use AI agents as well internally to improve day-to-day work activities? I can answer it quickly. Yes, we are. Sinead probably want to answer as well.
Yeah, the we and it always evolves. So we'll have Gen AI tools. We have like an internal wiki on what's applicable, especially for say my area marketing. But also we share tools, and I'm going to go into Amazon Quick Suite in a few moments, and internally everyone's creating chats and flows within that for us to use on a day to day too. So the great thing about being in AWS is you're surrounded by really nice, smart people. So the abundance of tools and sharing of knowledge is there constantly.
Makes sense. So, data guy underscore 123 mentioned Kiro is awesome. Yes, it is. If you're not familiar with Kiro, Tony actually pasted the link for Kiro, Kiro.dev, and how you get started. So you can try, have a look, and you can build like digital games like Sinead just built, or even better, other games that you might want to build. Okay, let's continue.
So we'll go back on the vein of Kiro because it is unreal. I love Kiro. So, about 2 or 3 months ago, we had a internal challenge, which was to create. It was a Gen AI competition. So who's to come up with the best Gen AI tools that AWS marketing can use? And I was just like, oh, so my job, I have to look at our actually, if we stop sharing for the moment, and then I'll go through it all. So for my job, I have to look at what customers we are working with, what customers do we want to work with, what's the strategy to engage with them, to educate them, for them to understand benefits and to share that peer to peer. And we call that account based marketing, so ABM. Um, so, in order to do an account based marketing plan, you have to understand the maturity of the accounts, what's the common denominator, like what some accounts are needing, say they might need to migrate or modernize or use Gen AI or analytics. And I
Okay.
was like, how can I solve this tool with Kiro? So I actually created a tool within Kiro, which would allow me to first my content gap. So uh, sorry, my contact gap. So in an account, I might only have X amount of contacts. So how do we understand how who the CIO is, how the CTO is, who manages the analytics stack, and you can use that with Gen AI. So with this tool, we could go, okay, according to our external resources, these are all the contacts, the key
Yeah.
contacts,
Okay.
and these are the contacts we have relationships, and this is the context we need to build relationships. So for me as a marketer, I was like, okay, how do we engage? Where do they tend to be? What events? What
Okay.
associations? And then we can put that into our plan to be able to, okay, we plan to get 20% more of those. And then our DG, which is our internal sales team, know who to follow up as well, who to prioritize. So we're being more strategic with our time and efforts. Where in
All
the
right.
past we used to do this thing called content syndication. So we'd go to say we create a white paper, and sometimes you go on another website and be like, hey, see this white paper on modernizing your stack with AWS? Click to download. Well, those downloads, we would take those leads. Sometimes the
Okay.
leads wouldn't be that great or wouldn't be that qualified and would cost a bit. So now what we can do is we can go to these agencies as one point, not all points, like you do events or whatever,
Okay.
but we can go, we only want people from these companies and we only want people from these lists. And we can automate that in the background so they only get an updated list. So we're only paying for what we actually need as a company.
So it's more like targeted and segmented, personalized for what you need instead of in the past you kind of like guess it, not guessing, but well, smart guessing, but it's that way now it's like more, bit more accurate and then a bit more targeted for the
E-
marketing that you want to build. Okay.
Exactly. And then what I would do, what I did is like we had I uploaded the list of the companies and then I said here's the common denominators so I could like cluster them so we could do a go to market strategy based on similarities as opposed to trying to go for every company one on one. So I did a few things like this, and then Amazon QuickSuite launched, and I was like, well, it was amazing what I could produce, but it would have been a more manual. And what Amazon QuickSuite can do, it can do all this but also connect with
Yeah.
the data. So instead of me downloading stuff from, say, Salesforce and our internal wikis that has
Yeah.
all our case studies and all that, and external, you can all do it within Amazon QuickSuite. So I won the
Yeah.
competition. Woo. Um, and then when I went back to leadership, I was like, actually, you know what I built? We need to throw that out because long term, it's not going to do our need. So what it did and why it won was I was able to build a working prototype really quickly and show it to them, and they could buy into it and see it straight away. And that's what I love about Kiro. You have an idea, you're talking with 10 of you in the room who are probably smarter than you, to make it even better. And then you can visualize it and go, what do you
Yeah.
think? Yes or no? So you don't have to spend weeks, months creating something. You can actually spend a day. And when I was creating the ABM, again, I did the idea within transcribe and threw it in. And then I challenged it before even we decided to build it. I was like, how can I make this better? What am I not thinking? What is the thought leadership out there at the moment? What are Gartner's theories and Forrester's theories on the best go to market strategy for account based marketing? So I was trying to make it, I was being really lazy with my research. I was like, you do the work and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. Um, so I did that with Kiro. It was great. I threw it out the door once Amazon QuickSuite came in, and now I will show you Amazon QuickSuite and why I love it. Um, so if you want to open up, yep, there we go. Love it.
Okay.
So I actually had to create a dummy account within QuickSuite because I would have been showing all my secret sauce for internal, which I might get in
Yeah.
trouble with. So what I did is what you can do. I'm going to tell you what I've created elsewhere because I couldn't create the dummy right now. So I'll go first with the very simple chat agent I created, and then I'll go into what I'm doing for my role that is kind of cool. I think it's cool anyway. So I get asked so I create events. And when you create an event is only as successful as how you promote
Would you
it.
be able to zoom in? So
Oh,
to
of
make sure.
course. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that would
Brilliant.
be great.
So I if I create an event, just because I build it doesn't mean they'll come. So I have to let the sales team understand what an event is about, let their internal sales know, and let the other marketing teams know. And also, I might have to create demand gen emails internally. So what I did is you can create like a chat agent to create these packs for you. So it'll create the
Okay.
emails, it'll say the value proposition for the team, and you can also connect knowledge sources. Now, I just popped in one knowledge source here. So a knowledge source is uh,
Your data, I presume.
exactly. So you can add in files, you can add in links, and it'll pull from that information. So you can say pull from this knowledge. So with this one, I was like create a sales event pack for AWS AI Data Conference 2025. Now, within my question of the chat, I did ask them
Okay.
to prompt me. So prompt me with the oh yeah, I already did this before, so it's going to come up with the old one. So there it is. It's come up with because it asked me to give them the date and number of registrations and number of attendees we expect. And key value proposition comes up, and then there's the personalized emails. So I can copy this out. Oops, sorry. I can copy this out, edit it. Oh God, I keep doing that. Apologies. Um,
Mm.
and you can see that it has different for different people. So this is for C-level executives, this is for technical makers. So it comes up with a really good output. Now, if you think how long that
Okay.
would have taken me to write and curate and edit and make it right, this makes it I can have it done in 15 minutes. So how did I create that? I literally just went chat agent and I said create a chat. Um, so I used Mentor actually. Let me just refresh my Mentor. I'm going to open Mentor in another one because I have a lot of chats in Mentor. So I just want to make sure I pull up the right chat. So let me see session history.
No
Um,
worries.
uh, no, it doesn't show that. So basically, create a chat agent that creates sales enablement.
Okay.
So
So you don't write any code at all, and then you add
yeah,
the prompt.
yeah. And then ask for date,
But
venue, all this.
while you typing, this is the thing that I've been like, if I create it, I run the same prompts, and then it's come out, and then because I'm not expert in marketing domain, I won't know like whether this enablement pack is the right document or not. So if you are expert in one domain, you still get the head start compared to the others when you use this like this type of AI tools.
Yeah, but that's where you can use your likes of Mentor or Kiro and be like, or first use Transcribe. So you saw how slow I was at typing it. How much quicker would I be if I was using Transcribe and talking about it? So what you can
Yeah.
do, and we can run through it. Let's do it actually. Let's go into my Isengard and um it'll just take a second. Logging in, and let's go transcribe because we're going to use a few things here.
Okay.
Okay, so this one create transcript. Okay, um, okay, I am. No, I'll do it again because I blurred a little bit. Actually, no.
No worries.
Start new stream. I want to create a chat agent within Amazon Quick Suite. You are an AWS marketing expert and you are trying to create an event pack so that you can give it to the sales team so they can promote it to their customers. And you want to give it to internal sales so they can send a big inside sales email across. Um, Within the chat, you need to know the date, the venue, any other event details that I'm missing, please let me know. Link as well. The goal of this event and promotion doc at the end is for sales to fully be aware of the event, how important the event is, what the goals of the event are. Is there any of the goals I'm missing as well? Please assist where I have gaps. And then stop
And
that.
then you can just copy it.
Yeah, imagine how long that would have taken if I had to type that. Sure, we would have been here all
Yeah.
day. So you can type that into your chat, or you can type it into your Kiro as well. So like, let's. We haven't done one in Kiro actually. Let's do Kiro. So here is Kiro. Let's just do a new session. If it'll. Oh, Kiro's not loading there, is it not? Because I don't have the screen open. Okay, we won't do in Kiro. We'll do it here for now. So create me the prompt to create chat. And I know there's duplication there. I know it's not the tidiest English, but it doesn't actually have to be. So that'll work in the background to create that prompt, and then you can edit it. And then instead of just chatting, you can just create your own one yourself. So I'm just going to discard and exit, close that, create that, and wait for Mentor to do its job. So this will take a second. It tends to go too much into detail, and then it comes back to it. But it'll work
Okay.
in the background. So while that's working in the background, I can kind of walk through the cool things I'm seeing with Amazon Quick Suite. So if we go back to Amazon Quick Suite, so we talked about the knowledge that you need to create. So when I talked about what I built with Kiro from an ABM perspective,
Yep.
Amazon Quick Suite, oh my God, it's like 10 times better when it comes to connecting the data. So I need to create my 2026 strategy, and I have X amount of accounts I have to concentrate on within a segment. So I need to look across our Salesforce campaigns,
Okay.
Salesforce pages for those accounts. I need to connect in the account managers
Yep.
account plans for those accounts. I need to look up what is the 3-year plan for that segment. I need to pull externally what are the opportunities. You can do all this in Spaces. I love it. So what I did with my own account, and I won't uh, show into it, but I'll show you how it is possible. So you create a
Okay.
space, and let's just say I'm looking at manufacturing. Say I just type in manufacturing. So in AWS, I'll have like case studies I can upload. I can upload
Yeah.
all the case studies do manufacturing, all the different types of case studies, and what type of manufacturing. All can go in here. So there's my brain of past knowledge. So when a customer goes, "Hey, Sinead, what do manufacturing customers use on AWS?" I'm like, "Well, actually, here's some cool solutions
Yeah.
they've built or they need." I can put in the manufacturing, say 3-year plan, everything like that. And then once I've put in all the knowledge I want, I can create a space or a flow depending on my needs. So, say a chat or a flow. So my chat agent can pull in the information from that space, and I can go,
Okay.
you are the lead manufacturing for AWS marketing for UKI. You need to create your account based marketing strategy for these 30 accounts.
Okay.
What is how do we cluster them into groups, or how do we know which service to talk to them about? And from connecting with Salesforce, it'll pull in their usage. So it'll say they use Amazon QuickSuite. They use
Okay.
whatever services. So we can know their adoption journey. And so if someone's already using EC2, say, well, that means some of their data on AWS. So we can ask the question to the agent going, is it, are they migrating and modernizing? It looks like they have some of their data, or are they using different tools? Like if they're
Oh,
using Amazon QuickSuite, they actually have a lot of their data because they're analyzing the data. Okay, we shouldn't be doing a migrate and modernize journey with them. We should be doing about the art of the possible with analytics, Gen AI, and how you can use your data smarter. So you can do all these and create those chats and create that plan. And I did it today with my director. I created my plan. I shared with her. I said, "This is it. Give me your inputs based on what you are hearing from global." Great. I'll come back to you in 20 minutes. We'll get it done. So instead
how
of,
long is that in the past? Like how long
oh,
usually like it takes like for creating this like your plan and
oh, at least 6 or 7 weeks, because what you're doing
okay.
is you're talking around the house, you're reading every document, and I mean there's a lot of documents. You're trying to figure out what, like, you'd manually have to go into every account and copy and paste and create a doc and upload it, and then try and read, understand, analyze, and go, okay, am I making sense? Like, does it?
Yeah.
We're actually now, you can create it and then go back to your leadership and say, okay, this is where I think the strategy is. I think now is time we go to sales and get their input. So I'm going to sales prepared. I've done my homework, and they can challenge it.
Okay.
And I don't take offense. They're like, this is good, but this is better. Oh, we didn't think of that, but have you thought of that? And I'm like, actually, no, because that wasn't in the data I had. But this is where the human element, as
Yeah.
opposed to initially, I'd be trying to find everything. Where now, a lot of the sales managers are putting their information on spaces. So all I have to say to them is, can you send me on your space link, and I will add it to my chat agent to pull
Yeah.
from. So it makes it easier, but it makes it better for the evolution of it. By Salesforce being attached, it means that that information is constant. By me connecting with their spaces, instead of just downloading their PDF, which is dead as much as they update it. Sorry, I'm going to cough now.
Okay.
Mm,
Uh, I
there we
see.
go.
Well, you zip your ring. There's because you're talking about Kiro, you're talking about transcribe, and then also like Quick Suite, Interstellar 1122 or 1122, asking how do you guys stay on top of the pace of new thing launched by AWS? I can answer mine, and Jeanette give you perspective as well. For me, it's depend on the individual. There's a lot of exciting things. We have the access to all of the new things in AWS, so I always like, okay, whether this is useful for me, and if it's useful for me, and I will try it. And that's the way myself at least keep on top of AWS, or at least I read about it. If it's something useful, I we can do hands on, like Sinead already showed, like in the demo that she just trying things, break things, and let's see what happened. And if it's relevant for our work, then we can use it in day to day as well. How about you, Sinead? How you keep on top of Kiro happening, and then a quick suite happening, and then maybe some other things happening? I think you are on mute.
Sorry, I was
No
trying to
worries.
hide my cough. Um, so I do it by chatting to everyone. I am so excited with these tools, and I'll go, oh, I've seen this. What do you think? So, like, for example, we had an internal tool called Cedric, and I love Cedric. It was great. And then someone was like, oh, that's been deprecated, but you should try this one and this one. They're really cool, and this is why this one's really good. So again, a bit of a lazy approach. I listen to everyone else instead of trying to do all that research, and then I test it and try it and see if it works. And that's where, like, I've had Isengard since I joined, what, 3.5 years ago. I've only started using it in the last 9 or 10 months because I was chatting with one of our sales AMs, and he was like, oh, have you used Isengard to create your emails? You can select your model, you can see what works best. And I was like, how? And he sat down with me and he showed me. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I was like, oh, I can play with everything in it. And that's kind of where it evolved. And the Kira one was the New York Summit. If you watch the New York Summit keynote, it was just all about, here are all the key updates, check them out. So while that was doing, I got Kiro. I was testing it, listening to it, and testing a few other things, and afterwards. And then I also rely on YouTube a lot. So, I've used it within
Mm.
QuickSuite, spaces and chat agents. And I was like, oh, what's a flow? Like, how do we do a flow? And, that's how I understood flows. And then the research element, and that's how I did it. Like, if I can't find an answer within 5 minutes, I'll probably be distracted by something else that I have to get doing. So,
Okay.
yeah.
There's a
And
suggestion. Sorry,
mhm.
carry on.
No, no, go ahead.
Now, from data guy, underscore 123 will be good if they add option to use quick suite and to do the transcribe, save time typing. Maybe this is the thing that we can build with Kiro, like talk and then translate to chat and spit out the results or
Mhm.
connect to quick suite or somehow. And then Interstellar 1112 advice as well. I can use laptop dictations, but I guess I never use that laptop dictations. I don't know if you use it, Sinead. Maybe you can try it, whether it is um, helpful, so you can actually talk and then it's directly write in the QuickSuite chat agent.
I,
Uh,
I, I used to actually, terribly so.
okay,
I used
there you
to
go.
use
Is it?
I used to use Slack. Slack, you'd send someone
Yeah.
an internal message and it would do the transcribe, and I'd copy that before any of the tools. And for the videos, someone would be like, hey, Sinead, can we get the video transcribe? And I'd like, grab that. And then I started taking it from YouTube. But if you look at the YouTube transcribe, it has all the date
Yeah.
times in it, which is really annoying. But you can
Ah,
copy
okay.
that and throw it into one of the tools. So I used to throw that into Mentor and be like, delete all the timings and just create the flow. And it did it. So there's like, in the day to day, it's, if you come up with a barrier, I'm always just like, oh, there is a solution. But the thing about Amazon QuickSuite is there's new things coming out all the time. And as more users use it and come up with the suggestions, more things will be added.
Yeah.
But if you bear in mind, like QuickSuite got launched at New York Summit, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was
No, it was
October.
very recent. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
a couple of weeks ago, something like that.
October 10th or
Last
something like that. I was at an event, and I was actually at the analytics summit, and I was talking to someone. I was like, there's something cool going to happen soon, but I can't talk about it. And turned out it got announced 2 hours beforehand, so I could have talked about it. I was just building up the suspense.
Okay. So, uh, great session. Really appreciate it, Angela. Thank you very much.
So here's I let this work in the background, and it wasn't doing what I
Okay.
wanted. So you could have seen me typing there, because I was like, I just want the prompt in a paragraph, because it kept doing, oh, you could do it this, this, this. I was like, that's not what I wanted. So just copy
Okay.
and create, boom, and generate. And then, the chat agent isn't just like, just create this. It'll go into persona and tone and who you're talking to. So you can edit it accordingly to the needs.
Okay.
And I'll go into that now in a second. But yeah, so that was working in the background. I was editing the prompt to the need we wanted.
Ah, okay. So now it will create the. Okay, it's created now.
So we'll create it. It'll say Universal AI Assistant.
Yep.
Um, and here
There's a
is
persona,
the agent identity, the persona, um,
and we
and
can
then
still edit that, right? A few
you can
things
you
like
can
slightly
edit
not.
anything. So say if you have a specific tone that, like, Amazon, we don't use weasel words. So, we don't have them in our language. You can pop that in it. If you talk in third party versus first party, you can put that in it. Response structure, you can say, do you want a paragraph style, a bullet point, or whatever? And
Yep.
then the length. So, when I did that ABM plan, I was like, this needs to be at least 1,500 words, if not more. You have to cite where you're getting the information. You have
Okay.
to write paragraphs when it comes to the description, but bullet points are okay when we're talking about the breakdown, say, of clusters or whatnot. And then you can add in here, okay, I want to upload some documents. And this could be your document on your writing style. So, most big brands will have a writing style. So instead of you
Okay.
worrying, making sure you're doing it right,
Yeah.
upload. And then your knowledge sources, this is your spaces, or also you can create like websites that it can go to. So you see here, I have a space that is, let me see, where is it? Oh, we'll go here. Um, so you can do, integrations, I believe it is. Yeah. So you can do knowledge base integrations. So you can do it with your Google Drive, your
Okay.
S3, and you can also do a web crawler. So you can be like, I want this to integrate and I want it to look up
So,
no authentication. So like web search. And maybe you want to say, I want it to be Amazon.com website or AWS. So you can put in all your ULs. I know that's not correct, but you can just type in whatever. Oh, needs to be. I know that's not the right one,
yes,
but anyway.
yeah.
But you can add whatever websites you want to be included to pull back the best results. So, say if I was creating a chat agent that I wanted thought leadership on the best, how to do marketing the best, I would
Yeah.
probably look at Forrester, Gartner, Serious Decisions. Forbes might be a good one, and Business Insider might be a good one, and a few other ones. And I could put all their link into it, so it's actually scanning, bringing back that information.
Okay. Do you? I mean, I don't know whether to check whether it is hallucinating, how you avoiding it, to make sure, or how you checked it, make sure like this is not hallucinating. Yes, you said you say like put all the sources where you
Yeah,
summarize the paragraph,
so you
but
can
is
put
there
that in.
any trick or tips to make sure like, okay, you need to put this prompt to at least, maybe not 100%, but at least you can reduce it, and at the end you have to check everything again, of course, but to
Yeah,
minimize that risk.
I never fully trust it. So what I do is I check the output and then I edit it accordingly. So I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Like even, I could say I want paragraph style, I want it clear and concise, and it won't come back that. And I'm like, okay, maybe I wasn't clear in my request. So it is a bit of a trial and error, but once you get it running the way you want the output to be, it's pretty good. And then that's where I say it's easier to take a red pen to something than to create something. So it's easier. Okay, I created a 5-page doc. Well, sure, if I wrote that 5-page doc, we could,
Yeah.
sure, anyone go to, like, if you went to college, how many, I was lastminute.com handing in my docs. I hated it. I needed that pressure. So this relieves that pressure, and it means I can only edit it, and it creates the best version of what I can create. So I have my expertise in my head. I edit,
Okay.
and then I go to my team internally. I say, this is what do you think? And this is what we call internally a doc read. And they'll go, and you didn't think of this, you didn't think that, great. Edit again, change it, go. And I can upload the latest doc. So say if I wanted to, within the knowledge source or right here, I can be like, latest doc, and I could change the prompt. Here's the latest doc. Please review this,
Okay.
and put in those changes into your chat going, these are the comments, how can we reflect them into the doc? So I'm not having to look at a doc and edit, oh, they didn't like this, or they thought my tone was wrong, or this. Just let the agent do it.
Okay, that makes sense. So you still need, like, you can't just blindly go generate, like, I again, a brief example of me, like, go generate exactly the same prompt and then trusting it, because if I checked it, I won't know like which one is, this seems like not right, this seems not right for me, because I never work in the marketing area. I will say like, ah, this all right, seems all good, but the domain expertise still will be used. Your experience in the past still valuable to make sure whatever output that you have, you can double check. That's a that's the thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's it. You
Okay.
never trust, because those I know the hallucinations are getting less and less, and you can adjust the temperature, but you can't fully trust it. Like, you can't put the system on autopilot and expect it to do your job. What Gen AI helps you do is it helps you become better, quicker, achieve more. So another thing that, say, Amazon Quick Suite is really good for, and I don't have all the detail pulling in. But we use internally Amazon Quick Suite for all our results performance. So I'll do campaigns, events, and we will track attendees, how much revenue was driven, how much revenue was closed, and all that's on dashboards. And from that, I can create a chat agent or a flow. So say it's the end of the quarter and they want an update on how well marketing has done on that element. I can be like,
Yeah.
just pull me the top campaigns, tell me what happened. So I have the consistency of format for them. And I don't have to spend a day creating a doc showcasing, okay, what we've achieved, because I've created the format. And it
Yeah.
means that at any time, if anyone wants to understand how good a campaign is done or whatever, I can just ask and show. and then move on. Where before, my God, before we had QuickSuite, I was using Tableau and I'd be exporting it and I would be highlighting and I'd be filtering. And, that could take like 2 or 3 hours to deduce the right information. But then a week later, more data would be released and they were like, oh, we need a more updated one. And I'm like, okay, we're doing it again, are we? We're doing it again. So this makes it, you get it instantaneous. It makes you smarter, know what's working and know where to put the investment. You can also challenge
Yeah.
it too. So you can be like, okay, outside of my segment or area, what campaigns are really working well? And if you can pull that, then you can contact those marketers and be like, I see you got really good results here. Can you tell me how that worked? Was that due to the event was really good or was the follow up really good? Like, how was this successful? And then you can try and apply that knowledge. But without that chat function to see what's doing really well,
Yeah.
it'd be really hard to deduce. And then by the time you did deduce, you'd be too exhausted to go be asking questions.
So if I summarize that, in the past when you build like reporting or dashboard and stuff, you have to do all the manual stuff like importing the data and then analyze, finding out why this happened, finding the correlation with other things, why this impacting in a positive way or negative way. But now you can actually ask, you see in quick suite, you ask the dashboard or the graph to say like why this has happened, which is related. As long as you provide the right data behind the scene with Amazon Quick Suite, it can like analyze and then give you the answer quickly. And of course, you want to double check, of course, but it's still speed up that process of looking that needle in the haystack, for example.
Yeah, because now we've moved to a model where we track everything. So like email. So say if I have an event, say that Kilkenny
Yeah,
event I gave an example of, there's about 100 campaigns around that. So it's not even just when I say a campaign, a marketing campaign is maybe an email going out or the event is the campaign. So usually it used to be just the event was the campaign. Not anymore. Now it's every demand
more
generation
detail.
email. Yeah, it's nearly every touch point that registers a result. So if I had to manually try and find the 100 of them, because everyone names it differently. So say you sent an email, Lydia, saying, come to Kilkenny, and that title would come in the campaign. And then someone else would call it, come to the data conference or the A conference or the Gen AI
Okay.
conference. And it's all these random ones. So what you can do is you can go into the chat function and be like, please filter out and give me the list of all conferences that end in a conference, because AWS doesn't use that terminology much, and that has AI in data or Gen AI or Gen AI Day.
Yeah.
And and then I can filter it down and cut it. Well, imagine if you had to do that for every campaign you did. It
It will
makes it
be,
much easier.
yeah. So we're almost on the top of the hours, about like 5 minutes. So if somebody like completely new, it could be they could be like working marketing the same domain as you or some other domain that never code before, or like you code in the past, but just the matter of CSS and it's a while back and never code anymore and want to start, particularly for example, Kiro or QuickSuite or even any Gen AI tool available out there. What is the lesson that you learn so they not like going through the same mistakes again, like okay you have to write prompt in a specific way, what does that mean, and then can you share like lesson learned from what your learning journey so far?
Yeah, no, definitely. So I think the biggest learning is make sure you're not putting your data where it shouldn't be. So if you are say using Kiro, you can put all that on your laptop and just create a folder. So that spaces thing I talked about, you can create that all on Kiro. And I love Kiro and it's a great place to just actually here, download it, use it, and tell me what you think because it is
Yeah.
brilliant. And the same thing with QuickSuite. Like QuickSuite's really safe, but if you're using public tools and you upload your company information, it's gone. You don't control that data. So I would just say be mindful on that. Um, I would say play around with it for like say if you're getting frustrated with something in work that's repetitive, play around with one of the tools. Maybe you're gonna like create the solution for yourself. Um, what other advice would I have? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, if you're a complete non-technical, definitely Kiro. If you were trying to create like a brain to help your day job, definitely Amazon Quick Suite. Like create those spaces, analyze it. It's there always for you to draw from. And it's very, very easy to set up. And even if you don't know how to set it up, here,
Yeah.
go to Kiro. I need to set up Amazon Quick Suite. How do I do that? And it'll tell you the exact same. And then you can read and be like, I don't even have a Isengard account. How do I do that? Or whatever. And it'll go, to do that, you do this. So yeah, I would say just start, play around with it. Give yourself like 20 minutes. And if you run into a barrier, YouTube, see if you
Okay.
find a quick video, solve it, go.
So, what is the best resources that you can start learning? Is it YouTube that you mentioned, like, or is it any like courses, or YouTube is the best
Um,
to find quick resources
it,
to get
it
started?
yeah, it depends on how big. Like I use it AWS Skill Builder. I have like so I have my AI
Okay.
certified
Yeah.
now, so I did that. But when you're kind of in the middle and want a solution, YouTube is really good, or Kiro. So Kiro, I'm having this issue. How do I solve it? Because you want those instant results. And I found Kiro to be amazing for that.
Okay. That makes sense. So, any last thought, like, okay, why people, s- those the non-technical folks who afraid like of AI should not afraid, instead of leverage what they have as a domain expert, but also AI to excel in whatever they work. Any advice, any thoughts, like how?
Yeah, I think it's not going away. It's going to get more and more. And I think in order to continue to be successful, you have to embrace the tools and use them
100%.
in your day to day, because it allows you to be more strategic. It moves you away from the day to day, boringness, and it puts you in a position of more power. You can be like, oh, I've created this. What do you think? So yeah, again, Excel came in, you know, you had to use Excel. You couldn't do your maths on the paper anymore.
Okay. Thank you very much, Nate. For those of you missing the first bit of these sessions, they will be available on demand. We will share the show note as well, so it will have available on demand on YouTube. And don't forget to tune in again next week, Monday, 5 p.m. CET, 8 a.m. Pacific time, and 11 a.m. Eastern time. We're gonna talk about. I think we talked about sensitive data earlier, very very brief, but we're gonna talk about it a little bit more and how you protect your sensitive data with the dynamic data masking for Amazon Aurora PostgreSQL with Ibrahim and our esteemed guest, expert in Aurora PostgreSQL. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, Nate, for sharing your journey and then all the tons of example that 100% will be relayed for everybody else in this audience.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone. See you next week. Bye bye.
Cheers.